And around goes the 18 of Kyle Busch. And so it happens quick here at Darlington.
Yeah, see the right front's down. I have a feeling, I mean, just stop, right?
Drive the wrong way and come back in pit lane. He's got a tire go down.
You see Kyle Busch right up against the wall.
Yeah, just came around on him, just trying to make speed, leaving the corner. And I mean, he has a right front down. That's just from it sliding right here.
Yeah, he does a really nice job, though. You see the rear tires spinning on purpose to drive it off the wall. Then he locks the tires up.
Probably when the right front tire goes down when he locks them up here.
And he just goes for a big, long slide. Then does a nice job of getting off the brakes, I think. No, he just comes to
See
a
the
stop.
car just step out. There's some bumps over there. As I was out on the track this morning, the bumps have come back there, and all it takes is just getting your right side tires outside of that groove just a little bit. That's a hard hit. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it doesn't look all that bad, but they don't have a tremendous amount of time to fix this race car.
Scheduled to go green.
Put your hands together for Craig Anderson from the Ottawa Senators. Drivers, start your engines.
Fire in the hole, but go ahead and fire it up. Fire it up. You know the deal then.
The green flag is out, and we're racing in Canada. Cindric, the pole winner, to the point, into turn one. Great view from the visor of John Hunter Nemechek and what he sees.
You could hear him patiently waiting to get back in the gas. Made a nice run up the hill there. This track, all the rubbers was washed off of it from a rainstorm, so these trucks are going to handle a little bit differently now. Guys are tiptoeing a bit.
Rained hard throughout the overnight and through most of the morning today, and still a threat of rain.
Great side-by-side battle right here between John Hunter Nemechek and the 8, Justin Haley, the 24. Kaz Gralla did an amazing job to grab second on that initial start.
And did I mention 40 miles an hour in a truck? That's what it sounds like. Those things are really lugging as they come off turn 5. But man, will they ever get them wound up down the back straightaway, Phil? 3,400 feet long. That means drafting. Watch these guys really pull up on one another and pull out and make the slingshot into turn 8.
Yeah, Justin Haley, who started on the front row, has slipped back to 5th there in that 24 machine. That's John Hunter Nemechek in the bright colored truck just ahead of him. Won this race a year ago in a somewhat controversial fashion, banging doors right to the finish line.
We've had a lot of banging doors at the end of these races here. This gap has been more than a second this entire race, has it?
Cindric now coming through turn 10.
Back to the green and white.
And you heard the crew tell him, coming to the green and white checkers, and that is the end of stage 1.
Keep rolling until we get the caution, then we'll go into full conservation mode.
That means shut the engine off and coast everywhere you can. Save as much gas as possible.
That 19. Watch it here.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. He's going to have to come back to pit road. You see the gas man doing all he could do to try to grab a hold of it, and that may be just enough to take him out of contention for this win.
What a tough break.
We talked about not making mistakes late in the race. This certainly will bring him back to pit road for removing equipment. So much talent, so much ability, and this is another great example of it.
Going through turns 9 and 10. There's a look at Briscoe in that second position. Ben Rhodes in third. They're chasing Ryan Truex as Truex is going to come through and take the green and white checkers, and does, as the stage 2 winner, Ryan Truex.
How about Chase Briscoe? They're trying to solidify his spot in the points. We know at least one of our drivers is going to point his way into the playoffs. He's in pretty good shape right now.
Spot when you can. On board with Nemechek, and that's Gilliland behind him.
Oh, he missed somebody missed.
Somebody blew up.
Yeah, it's the 4 of Christopher Bell.
She's blowing up, boys. Sorry.
The championship playoff points leader, but if there's anybody that could afford that, it was Bell, already with 4 wins this season. From the 29 of Chase Briscoe.
Whoa.
Wow.
So Briscoe, some significant contact.
You heard John Hunter Nemechek actually hit the rev limiter.
It's not like he missed a shift.
He may have missed a gear as well.
But that missing a shift is one thing. You hit the rev limiter. But when you go from third to second, it just immediately overturns the engine's RPMs and blows it up.
Yeah, these engines have rev limiters, but they can't catch it that quick when you go from third to second like that.
Now watch the 18 of Noah Gregson. He had to narrowly avoid Bell when Bell had to get out of the gas, obviously, with the engine issue.
Sugarman's trying to hang on the outside. But it's going to open the door for Haley on the bottom, and this is a fast 24 truck.
Boy, Justin Haley has worked his way back up and now is going to have a shot. Remember, Kaz Grala has won already this season. Haley has not. Haley needs to win to get into the playoffs and just one more race after today. Haley thought this was his chance. Look at that. Not enough room. Somebody's going to get squeezed, and it was Nemechek that got bumped out, and Noah Gregson moved his way in. Wow. From Nemechek's view.
Nemechek in the middle of 3 wide. Oh, by the way, there's one to the right of you. There's 2 over there, John Hunter. They made it work.
So that's the reason for the yellow with the 13 coming to a stop.
And here he is right now in the 4th spot.
Oh, that bumping and grinding in front of Coughlin. So Coughlin, you saw him get off track there with the left side tires and eventually just brings it to a stop and then stuck in the grass.
Yeah, we had a lot.
John Hunter Nemechek, you see the significant damage. This is why. Watch. Going into turn 1.
We just got a little bit loose.
So much damage to that truck, Phil. And then you see he gets into the outside wall, but his front end was tore all to pieces before that.
Keeps the lead.
I don't see any way there isn't contact between these 2 trucks.
Going to be right here, too, Michael.
And there is the bump.
Oh, and he spun him out.
And he spins.
You got it. Go. You're all clear. You're all clear. Coming to you guys. We got in the 33 just a little bit back there.
That's the world we live in nowadays, guys. You can get your bumper to the guy in front of you. You're going to put it to him.
Great job.
He won the pole yesterday in record fashion, celebrating his 19th birthday, and today, Austin Cindric wins at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
All right, great job, great job.
Doug Randolph said. Yeah, I don't think the flagman had the checker flag in his hand, even though we've completed 64 laps. Austin's not going to take any chances.
Yeah, he's waving the checkers now, waving the checkers for sure.
I believe if I was Austin, I'd keep going anyway. Kaz is liable to be upset about getting spun out. And you race that guy back the other way, and there's sometimes when you just get wiped out, and that's a little bit harder to take. We saw a great finish in the Xfinity race on the road course last week. Kaz very maturely just drives by.
Cindric, yes, sir. Thank you.
Grala in the lead, and Cindric.
I think he felt like he only had 2 opportunities, Michael. I felt like turn 5 or turn 10. I think that was probably his only 2 opportunities to get that bumper to Kaz.
And I think Kaz made sure that he didn't overshoot the corner, and that gave Cindric a chance to knock him in the tailgate.
Lap 45.
Yeah. He was just perfect, Phil. He made the right moves at the right time to put himself in a position to grab the checker flag. I didn't think he could overcome that much of a distance that late in the race, but I love the move that Doug Randolph, the crew chief, made. Putting those 4 tires on after they had the penalty, that could be the key to this victory.
The 10th career win for Brad Keselowski Racing, and the crew chief is with Herman.
Was that a bump and run, or was that a dump and run?
That was a dump and run. To be honest, I know he's racing for a playoff spot, and I get that, but, I mean, he didn't try to pass us even. He just got to us and ran us over. Last year, you can say what you want about the finish, but you know what? They finished 1-2. They were both going in the right direction. I mean, I don't think he even braked for turn 5. So, honestly, I know he's a great road course racer, and I had a lot of respect for that, but I lost some right there because I wouldn't race someone like that. I'd move them out of the way, especially with as much on the line as he had, but that was too dirty of a move. I can't get behind that at all.
Austin Cindric has made his way to victory lane. He climbs out. Man, where do you start with you and your race team the last couple of weeks? You get news that this team is not coming back. Next year, you come to this racetrack knowing you had to win, and you get the job done. You are now racing for a championship. Your emotions.
You're exactly right. We have 2 trucks that are capable for the playoffs at BKR. It's exactly what the boss needs. It's exactly what these guys deserve. It's exactly what our sponsors deserve. Draw Tight, Reese, LTI Printing, everyone that's up. It's out. Ford Performance, their first truck win of the season. Roush H Engines, this thing went like a champ all day. I got to acknowledge what I did Kaz in turn 5. Everyone's watched this race many years past. Everybody knows it's going to come to contact. The second guy's closest to the first. I raced with Kaz growing up. He drove my Bando, was the first car he ever drove. I know his family, so I know they're not going to be overly excited about it, but he already had a win, so I didn't feel too bad about having to do something to make it happen for this team.
He said he expected contact, but was expecting you to try to pass him instead of just dumping him in that situation.
Yeah, I honestly ran out of time. He did an awesome job on the tires he was on. He made me put me into that box. I mean, he was doing a hell of a job on old tires, trying to stay out in front of me, and that's kind of the last resort I had. I didn't know what kind of race speed I was going to have going on the backstretch, and I'd rather not have it go into that. I'd rather have it somewhere where I can control it, and that's what happened. But awesome to have these guys in victory lane, especially with the BKR tributes.
These guys come back from a penalty. From last to first, they win at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
And now, race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal, VFW Commander-in-Chief, Keith Harmon.
Drivers, start your engines.
We're about to find out. Denny Hamlin will start on the outside, the flying 18 in this race, and Kevin Harvick in the 41 on the inside. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Darlington. Right up against the wall. Harvick stays down below the banking, and now will have to work his way up. He's on his outside. Cole Custer making the move in the 0-0. He takes second away. And around goes the 19. Coming out of turn 4, the 19 goes around and hits the inside wall. Matt Tifft, a tough start.
Well, you see at the top of your screen right here on the exit of turn 4, there seems to be some contact made between Tifft and the car behind him. Gets in the left rear quarter panel on the 19 and just nowhere to go. The straightaways aren't that narrow here as he spins out. Pretty heavy contact with the inside wall.
And, you know, so close to winning the race last week,
right.
And then the first lap today to be in a wreck. So you see he's on the outside, and yeah, Steve, I think he got a little bit free, and got free because he had contact. I'm sorry, I just can't make out who that car is that I think seemed to get into him.
Some contact was made on the 19 of Tifft, and you think about it, the last lap at Road America, contact was made. He was out front leading. Now the first lap at Darlington.
That's Ross Chastain, I believe.
Ross Chastain.
Look, that's where normally you would see it, but the 3 contests. Ty Dillon contests a spot. Elliott Sadler.
Oh, and he's going to hit him. Might have been contact there. Sideways still for the 3, and around he goes. Caution comes out.
I don't know if there was contact or if the 3 just got loose, but that's the give and take of Darlington. The 3 could have let the 1 go into turn 1. He decides to contest the spot. He drives in there very hard on the gas early, and the car comes around. We'll have to see on the replay if there was contact. Decides to contest. Now he's in the gas, and you see there's no contact between the 3 and the 1. The 1 gets very close. I'm sure the 3 felt that air. Maybe he was already free, but then the 3 spins around. Great move by the 41 of Kevin Harvick, that bright green car, to miss him on the bottom. And Elliott Sadler just getting on the brakes. So you see right here as the 1 climbs the bank and he gets close, but there is really no contact.
There is no contact, and so this is bigger than just a spin. You don't have a lot of tires here. Now Ty Dillon and his team, they're going to have to come in and use a set of tires. That's going to hurt them later in the race.
Early on, early cautions here at Darlington. Welcome back. Under caution once again. This time it was Ray Black Jr. in the 07 that spun through 1 and 2 to bring out the caution scheme from 3-time ASA champion.
Yeah, you see him at the top of your screen, already very sideways, looks to be by himself entering turn 1. Very difficult corner, as they all are here at Darlington, but just 2 free, and it's Ray Black just loses the back end of the race car.
Slides down, so much asphalt here. looks like this is a very wide and huge racetrack, but there's so little area that's actually covered. To the third spot, and Kevin Harvick coming out of turn 4. Harvick is going to win stage number 1 at Darlington. Sadler, Ty Dillon, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, top 5.
You'll see Kevin Harvick right now make that move for the lead. He's close enough getting into 1.
Around goes the 24, and that will bring the caution out. Dylan Lupton in that 24 has
coming by here.
Spun around.
Go ahead, turn around after this red one.
You see the right rear tire is
right
down and actually gone now for Lupton.
You didn't even get in the corner.
Todd Bodine actually spotting on the spotter stand.
Well, there you go.
Just went around on him.
Yeah, they're open to turn 1.
There you go. Keep coming. Keep
Got his
coming.
left side's on the apron, and I think a lot of people think, well, that's, you know, probably what got you loose, because you see that happen in so many racetracks. But here, that's just what you do. It's not that big of a deal to cross the apron, but sure enough, as soon as he did it, the back end came
Hamlin able to clear Logano for second, but Harvick out front has a 4-second lead as he's coming to the end of stage 2. Harvick will sweep the first 2 stages at Darlington. Harvick, Hamlin, Logano, Sadler, and Eric Jones, the top 3rd spot. It's Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, 1, 2, 3 as it round goes to 23.
You're all right. We just got to come around here and get a set of tires.
Spencer Gallagher around.
I started wrecking. I checked up. I'm pretty sure Ben ran me over.
Wow, drives in the corner, and 39 car got free in front of him, Ryan Sieg, and then he got tapped from behind.
William Byron got by on the bottom. The 23 of Spencer Gallagher running the old Michael Waltrip throwback scheme. This is going to be another great shot of it. Right here is William Byron just in front of you. He has to go low to avoid this.
You see it. You see it. Just check. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. No caution. No caution. By 1.
And so the caution has come out once again for this spin here at Darlington as we go NASCAR nonstop.
But not where he wanted to be, and you got to spin right now, and that's Dakota.
We had talked about the 28 of Dakota Armstrong. Around he goes, and the caution comes out.
As we see what happened to the 28 of Dakota Armstrong right here. Just high and free and loose. We talk about old tires, Jeff. You talk about you can't simulate it. Well, this is what it looks like. 35-lap tires at an old wore-out racetrack.
So here he goes. We ride along. Car goes in, heads toward the wall. As soon as he goes to the throttle, the back end comes around. Does a nice job, just locks it down, rides it out. There's the tire below right there. There he goes. He's spinning all by himself. Nobody else involved. This restart's huge.
6 laps to go from Darlington. Green flag back in the air. Logano on the outside, Harvick on the inside. Here comes Eric Jones. A great restart for the 20. Here comes the 18 of Hamlin, 3 wide for second. Hamlin makes the pass on the inside. He moves up to second. He'll be chasing after Logano. And what a run for Elliott Sadler in the 1. Winner last year, now up to 3rd, and he gets hit into the wall, but he stays straight. He's slowing down now. Caution comes out again.
You see right here, Eric Jones and the 1 are almost side by side coming off turn 4. I think the 1 is trying to take that outer lane. Eric Jones is not letting up. He feels he's to the outside of the 1. He stays there. There's definite contact. The 1 comes up, makes contact with the 20, and then hits the outside retaining wall.
And it looked like Eric Jones even got into the wall a little bit coming off of 4, like he was trying to give the 1 room.
Yeah, and yeah, he's as high as he can go, and they're just, you know, the 1 car is got him squeezed up in the wall. He was trying to give him room, and I think Elliott knew he was there, just didn't realize he had him closed up that much. The question now is how much damage does Eric Jones have, and is he going to have to pit?
This would be a great shot of it right here.
Marty.
And Elliott Sadler, that is completely my fault. I'm so sorry. He's apologized to the team several times.
Forward by the 22 of Logano. White flag going in the air. One more time around. Here comes Logano. Exiting turn 2. A little wiggle by the 18. Will there be contact? Down the backstretch they go. Here comes Logano. He looks to the inside. Logano slides up the racetrack. He takes the lead, but Hamlin comes back on the inside. The crossover move. And Hamlin will win in Darlington.
What an effort by Logano to try to slide drive him. Denny Hamlin wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Disappointment from Joey Logano. He thought he had a chance going down the backstretch.
And the burnout begins for Denny Hamlin. Hamlin's 17th career win in the Xfinity Series. The 5 wins now breaks the tie that he had with good friend Jeff Burton here and Harry Gant. The second most Darlington wins. Mark Martin still has 8 wins here in the Xfinity Series. Second winningest driver right there, Denny Hamlin. What a day it was for Hamlin as well, starting up front.
Denny Hamlin, how did you do it on that last restart for the win?
Just really good restart. Got through 1 and 2 really good. Just held it wide open through 1 and 2, and then great run by the 22, getting back to me there on the last lap. But I think that was a throwback to Dale Earnhardt there in turns 3 and 4.
That was huge. The lady in black was rearing up her head, but these fans have gone crazy. What do you think about them?
It's great. Thank them so much for coming out. Look forward for everyone coming out here tomorrow. And great run for this Work Clips Toyota. Hopefully get one more.
Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you in Victory Lane.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshals, members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2018, Ray Evernham, Robert Yates, Ron Hornaday Jr., and Ken Squire, joined by Bojangles Chief Executive Officer, Clifton Rutledge.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, Daniel, fired up when you're ready, buddy. Copy there, check, wait to get
Very pace car drivers as well as behind him will be the 9 of Bill Elliott. And I mean, that's what this is all about. The essence of the throwback weekend is being able to relive some of the history. Take a look at the King right there with a big smile on his face.
Seeing a smile on the King's face, that's what this weekend's about. Honoring the heroes of our sport, the people that paved the way. That's what this weekend, it cherishes those guys.
And look at the guys on the SDP team. Oh yes, everyone having some fun before the green flag flies. Track again, and I think it was an honorary position, but I think he's taking this seriously now. He wants to stay out there and run with these guys.
Rick, you gonna tell him to come off?
I'm not gonna tell him to come off.
I didn't think so.
It's good to be the King.
It's
right?
good to be the King.
Oh, you can't black flag the 43.
The King is having fun.
The King can do whatever the King wants to.
And look at Richard in this car. Look at that seat. That's an original seat. That's what you guys. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that to you, Jeff. But that's what the drivers used to drive back in the late '60s, early '70s.
Well, the King has led 1,237 laps of the Southern 500.
And
I think at 1,300.
And counting. Yes. And yep, sure enough, they did. They gave the King the black.
No!
Fans are on their feet. Green flag in the air. We're racing. Harvick makes the low line work for that start. Gets out in front of Martin Truex Jr.
pretty respectful turns 1 and 2 by the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. We're going to talk about this all night. 500 miles. 500 miles of the Southern 500 perhaps is the longest, most grueling task these drivers will face all year long. Martin Truex decided he wasn't going to start with a battle on lap.
Stay in front of Kyle Larson. Here's Blaney.
I think this is why he's pitting. Blaney trying to carry speed off of turn 4, just gets in the wall. Pretty heavy contact. Feeling like he has a tire rub.
He was running 10th. Well, Marty, what's happening?
He came on the radio. He said, I hit the wall. He sounded so dejected. And it's funny because he came into the weekend telling me, he said, I've hit the wall both times I've been here in the Southern 500. The one thing I cannot do this weekend, hit the wall early in the race.
Caution has just come out. The 6 of Trevor Bayne had hit the wall just a moment earlier. And now we're seeing frustration. Looks like between 2 drivers, A.J. Allmendinger and Trevor Bayne. You see all the smoke rolling out from inside the car. There's tire rub there. And then the 47 just moments ago as well, coming up the racetrack trying to avoid the 6, got sideways.
Yeah, the 6 blew a tire because he had hit the wall about 2 laps before. In the middle of 3 and 4, he had gotten into the wall and he drove into 1, and right there the tire's down, hits the wall. Then Allmendinger, just in responding and reacting to what he saw in front of him, couldn't get slowed down and got into Bayne.
Yeah, so Jeff, you mentioned that the 6 of Trevor Bayne blew a tire. Well, it was because of that first impact that you discussed. Well, this is turns 3 and 4. No damage yet on the 6, and you see he just gets very loose, tries to catch the back of the car. We're going to talk about a Darlington stripe. That's a Darlington crash. That is a little bit harder than a stripe. That went up, made contact. Jeff, you and I watched him for a couple laps. Obviously, the tire rub finally was too much for the right side tire.
This time you see all the damage to the right front of the 17, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
You see right here, this is on the exit of turn 4. He just gets very, very, very loose. Tries to correct, overcorrects hard into the outside wall a couple times. Pretty heavy damage. That thing was so sideways, Jeff. He was lost either way. If he doesn't overcorrect, it spins to the inside, almost surely makes contact with the inside.
Another playoff point, which will be very valuable as the playoffs start in just 2 weeks. But it's not wrapped up yet. Here comes the 78. The battle as they come to the line. What a run for Martin Truex Jr. He gets the win in stage 1.
4th caution of the program right now. Suarez, the Mexican, in trouble. Bouncing off the wall, and it's brought out the flag that will bring this field back together for another attack, and it will be an attack featuring some new names. If you haven't heard about this Jones boy and number 77, stay tuned. This guy looks like another real deal, and it's prevalent wherever you look right now in Cup racing. Whatever you say about it, there's a whole new sense and a whole new feeling about this new talent.
I don't think that you put all the engineers in the world.
Trouble up in turn 2. We've got a looper, and it's the number 47 in deep trouble, spinning down to the bottom of the racetrack.
It's A.J. Allmendinger there.
And the car number 51.
5th caution of the race. 5th caution of the race comes at lap 160. Let me see, I want to make sure I have that right. 155. Lap 155. It's out, and we'll see what happened here.
Just kind of catch the end as they're down. Probably happened trying to go side by side down into turn 1, possibly.
Di Benedetto getting caught on the outside. Scrapes up that one a little. That won't help the aero on that car.
We saw the 51 of Cody Ware. Looked like he might have just stopped maybe just to try to avoid getting into that. Maybe with all the smoke, couldn't see, but looks like he's okay. See up ahead what we can see here. Just see how, yeah, and when you only have a couple of grooves and you have all that smoke, I tell you, as a driver, you just don't know what's up there. So the best thing is just to back it down. Right along with Kyle Larson there. He was able to avoid all of that.
Race winner. He's done that 4 times. That's how you get to 36 points. But the second line's also very important. Oh, we have a yellow on the racetrack. The 83 is spun around.
Around goes the 83. Greg Gaulding bringing out the caution for the 6th time.
Looks like he has a flat tire at this point. The car's spinning. Quite a bit of damage all the way around the car. No, I'm mistaken, because right there you saw the tire pop. Maybe that was the inner liner. It's hard to say, but that car has found the Darlington stripe. It appears a few times
Martin
this season.
Truex Jr. and his team.
Winner, MTJ.
they've figured out how this new playoff format works. Well, you know what they figured out? If you outrun everybody, that's a good thing.
And a caution in turn 2. The 38 goes around. So David Reagan will bring out the 7th caution of the night. Is it too few a laps for them to think about coming in for tires?
As we review here what happened to the 38, you see down very low, getting into the corner. The car just comes around on him, Jeff.
Yeah, just left sides on the apron, and that's not uncommon at Darlington, though. That normally doesn't cause a problem, but you can see he was very loose as soon as he got on the apron. I'd say a great job, not a good job, a great job to keep from hitting the wall. Spinning in turn 1, kept his foot on the gas. His foot's on the gas, rear tire spinning. Now he locks it up. That initial foot on the throttle kept the car going down the hill from getting into the wall in turn 1. Nice job.
Had an intermittent engine issue, and you see right here, flat right rear tire right up against the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. And the 38 of David Reagan, he's trying to avoid the 21, thinking he's going to come down across the apron, and I think that perhaps is where the 38 picked up the debris that cut the left front tire.
Now.
Yeah, as you see Denny Hamlin pull off the banking and come to pit road.
He might have missed. He missed pit road.
He missed it.
He missed pit road. We've talked about how difficult it is at this racetrack. Race leader Denny Hamlin just missed pit road.
Spot off turn 2.
And he's going to hit him. Contact. The 34. Landon Castle into the wall. Will it bring out a caution? It looks like he's going to stay on the track.
Denny Hamlin couldn't afford to lift. He tried to time it and misjudged it. Ran into the back of the 34, and it's cost him at least 5 or 10 car lengths on the racetrack.
It's like he's on ice. Martin Truex Jr. trying to keep the car pointed in the right direction. Here comes the 11 for the lead. The 78 gets into the wall. Denny Hamlin takes the lead.
Well, I think the 78 has a flat tire.
Right front tire, guys.
There you
like
go,
front tire down.
We talked about this was an area that no one knew if they could make it on tires. The 78 has a flat with 2 to go.
He's able to chip away at it. Lap after lap after lap. And now, going through 3 and 4 for the final time. Denny Hamlin looking for his 2nd Southern 500. Hamlin is going to win at Darlington.
We did it.
He had given the one away. An absolute epic drive. It's unfortunate the 78 had that flat tire. I think the battle would have been great.
This moment presented by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long.
Rick, the whole team climbing over the wall. Denny Hamlin comes back after missing pit road. Denny, how did you do that after missing pit road?
Drove our ass off. That's as hard as I could drive. We got the flying 11. It's flying.
2 nights in a row, taming the track too tough to tame.
Yeah, I can't say enough. Wow, this track is just amazing. I love this racetrack. This is the 2nd one. This one's sweeter. I mean, you know, to go through the adversity we did right there, missing pit lane, and I knew I had to drive my tail off to get it back, and that's all I had.
What do you want to say to these fans tonight being out here on this weekend?
It's good to see the entire state of South Carolina in the stands. Thank you so much.
We'll see you in Victory Lane, Denny.